Let's do a PSA for homeowners who are trying to do home improvements on their property. This PSA is how not to get scammed by a contractor. It's no secret that Florida has hurricanes. Yes, the Sunshine State, we have a lot of hurricanes. We also have rain and wind damage that happens to property. And then the past year, we noticed that we had 2 hurricanes, a lot of rain and wind damage, flooding even in properties. So there's no secret that we need contractors to help us do our home repair. With that, there tends to be a shortage of contractors that can come out and do the work because the demand is so high, and thus a scam is born. The scam typically becomes this way. You'll go ahead and they will see a desperate homeowner who either has maybe something on the roof that's covering up. They'll see some type of damage to the property and they'll come knocking at the door and say, "Hey, homeowner, let me go ahead and help you with that. I am a contractor and I can get this done and I can start the work immediately." Well, the homeowner is so excited to actually get somebody to come and do the work, they freely will let the contractor into the home and let them review what's going on and assess the property. So once they assess the property, the contractor will say, "Hey, yeah, I can do this. Let's get this started. Let me go get the paperwork for you, and then we can start doing this work for you immediately." The homeowner, just so excited, says, "Okay, come on in." So the contractor will send an invoice and ask for a deposit. So the homeowner says, "Sure." They give a deposit to the contractor, and the contractor starts doing work. About a week later, the contractor will come in and say, "Well, there's been a delay in supplies and there's been a delay in shipments. So why don't you just go ahead and pay me all of the money up front so that I can go ahead and order everything and get it done timely so we don't have to be waiting around for the shipments to come in." The homeowner is so desperate to get their house done and so happy that this person is actually working on their home, freely just gives them the check for the full amount, the entire amount due. The contractor will go ahead and start doing some work around the property so that they can be available and they can make sure that that check clears. And once the check clears, they'll start coming back with excuse after excuse. "Oh, we didn't get the supply. No, I'm at another job." And then eventually they just get ghosted. So how do you avoid becoming a victim of a contractor scam? 1, do your homework. In the state of Florida, we have all information public records. If a contractor is a general contractor, then he is licensed by the state of Florida and must carry some type of insurance to do those type of projects. And you can go to myfloridalicense.gov and be able to find that contractor's name and how long they've had their license, and if there's any complaints filed against them or if there's been any disciplinary actions. The other thing you can look up is in sunbiz.org. You can go ahead and see if their corporation is a legitimate corporation. If they have filed their corporate or organizational documents with the state of Florida, you will be able to find them by the name of the company. Even if it's a PA, an LLC, or whatever they try to use on their documentation, you should be able to find that. And it will tell you who owns it, how long they've been in business, and what type of business they're doing. Number 2, always get a contract. Get it in writing. If a contractor is going to do a specific type of job, you should get that in writing. Contracts are beautiful, especially in litigation. And it also helps you if somebody is actually a scammer and committing a crime. You have some documentation that establishes when and how they intended to defraud you. So getting a contract in writing outlines who the parties are, what the work is that they're going to be doing on your property, and how much you're supposed to be paying for it, and when you're supposed to be paying for it. So again, contracts are key because they outline the relationship, they outline the scam if it's an actual scam, and you have something that will document what the intention was and why you paid this individual money. Finally, never, ever, 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 ever give the full amount of money to a contractor before they've completed the job. You can put that in your contract, you can outline it, But if you want to see that job finish, you can retain a percentage of that money, and you should put that in your agreement that you will not pay them in full until the job is completed, because the moment you pay them in full, they really have no incentive of coming back. So you should always, always, always make sure that, yeah, you can give a deposit, but never, 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 never pay it in full. As a Florida attorney, I cannot tell you how many cases I have had in the past month with people being scammed out of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now we have to go track down these contractors. So if you live in the state of Florida and you need home improvements, I would recommend before you hire a contractor, do your homework, do your research, find out who they are, and if you decide that you trust this person enough, get it in writing, and remember, never ever pay them in full upfront.